Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Friday. Today I'm going to be doing part 13 of the Hachette Partworks release of Build the B.III Lancaster bomber. Now I did say last week that I wasn't going to do this stage if there wasn't much to do, and as you can see in this section we have only got the floor section which comes in this box here. The thing is, there's loads to actually do because we're starting to piece together some of the parts that we have from previous stages into this stage. So there is an absolute loads to do. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen. You can get this all the way from stage 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So here you go, here's the magazine for stage 13, and as I said, we do have this floor section here, but I don't think we're actually using it because we are now starting to piece together some things. Now, a lot of people are talking about this bomb computer here, which we had from, oh, what stage was this? I think stage 4 that we never put in. Well, now we are going to be putting this in here. We're going to be putting the side frame on. We've already put one side on. We're going to be putting the other side on. Basically, we're just putting everything together. A little bit of glazing here going in. Then we're going to be putting the turret in to the top. So by the end of it, once we've got the fuselage on each side as well, how cool is that? Let's see, loads to do. It's going to look like that. This is the rest of the magazine here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig out what I've got and what I'm going to need for this stage. This is what's coming in the next stage, which is the wing support and 4 screws. So to that end, I'm going to bring over what we worked on last time, and this slot here is what's going to house this bomb computer, and it actually goes obviously with the controls towards the inside into the slot just here. I am going to glue that in, so I do have my brush on glue here, which once again I get from the range stores in the UK. You can't get this online at the moment. You used to be able to, but at the moment you can't. I don't know why, but there we go. Let's get this in. And there we go. That's in just like that. I'm now going to be putting this other side of the frame on, exactly like we did on this side here. This one's just going to be going on this side just here. When I put it on, I want to ensure that the tab at the top here connects. Make sure this light is still in place just down there. And now I'm ready to screw this in with 3 screws in these holes here. These are CP screws. So let's go and have a look what we got in here. This is that floor panel here. This is one solid bit of metal, as you can see there. But we're not actually using that, so I can keep that to one side. Now, these CP screws that I've got here actually came in issue 4. So hopefully you've kept them. And I'm going to get all 3 of these into place. Let's put the middle one in first. And then the other 2. So make sure that's flush there. Make sure it's in here. You don't really want to put this flat on your work surface unless you're being really gentle, because you're going to dislodge this, which you don't want to do. Now this part underneath here, they do want me to just put a little bit of glue in there so that this seam at the bottom is together. So again, I've got my brush on glue here. Let's just put that along this seam. Nice and neat. Get that pressed in, and I've got a cotton bud here just to wipe off any excess that I've got here, like that. So I'm just going to hold that into place, but that looks pretty cool. Now while I'm holding that in, I do want to take out now this glazing piece which we had from stage 2, and this is going to be going onto these 2 pegs either side here like that. Again, I don't want to risk putting super glue on here and watching it frost over this section here, so I am going to use some micro crystal clear just on that section there. Now remember, this is going to dry perfectly clear. That's the good thing about it. The bad thing about it is it does take an absolute age to cure. We're talking 24 hours. So when this is it, you really don't want to nudge it. But the bits that I'm actually putting the glue on, you're not going to see anyway. But as I said, it will eventually go clear, as you can see there. So let me just put that over these two lugs here. And again, I've got my cotton bud here to take off any excess on each side. So if you look on the top camera here, you can see white either side there. Once that's cured, that's going to go perfectly clear, but there's no danger then of super glue creeping over into this section here, so that will stay perfectly clear. Now, I've got some insulating tape here. I'm going to be putting this down so I'm not squashing that light underneath here, because this bit I think is going to be a bit tricky. And that is taking the gun turret, and I'm going to be putting the gun turret onto the top here. The reason it's tricky is because I need to take these wires, and where we put the light wire through, there's a hole at the back there. I need to put these two wires through again. Now, it is a really tight hole, so I'm going to need tweezers and patience to get both of these through. Do one at a time. Well, there you go. That wasn't easy. Right, I'm going to pull these wires through down the bottom. I'm going to hold that kind of in position there. My window has fallen out. I will put that in afterwards, actually. I think it's probably best to do that after you've done this section. I pulled through the excess. And now is the time that I can put this just on here. Get some glue. And I'm going to be wanting to put glue just on these 4 tabs that you might be able to see here. So one here, and then on the other side, one here, and one here. Okay. You really want to wiggle this into position. So on that side, let's wiggle this one in as well. Looking at that, that's looking good. So as you can see, that is now in there. Let me just put that window back on. Definitely do the window part here after you've done that part. You do want to ensure that that fits lovely and flat in there, because that's going to dictate gaps and stuff between the next sections we put on. This is still able to turn, as you can see. Now we're going to start putting the fuselage in. So we've got this metal piece here that we created, I believe, in the very first stage. This is going to be going on to this side here. And to get this in, we need to make sure the light goes through this hole and that this tab here goes through this hole here. So put the lamp through first and then line the rest of the parts up. So one in here and one in this side. Make sure they're all the way through. That's looking good. Excellent. Once I've done that, I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side with this side of that fuselage. Again, putting these tabs through the holes in the side here. 1 and 2. It is tricky because you don't want to touch any of the insides here. Now you should hear it click when it's in, so you can see that everything's now joined together there. And to hold that into place, we've got a hatch here, which is going to go onto these holes here. This is really going to pull it in like that. As you can see, it's holding it in there. Now what I might do is just put a tiny bit of glue just in that seam there, so I can really push that together as well, like that. Now it's not asking me to put this section on yet. The reason I put it on, because it helps to make sure that that seam is down, because obviously it's clipping things together there. But as you can see, that's how that looks. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Okay, so there's the front section on. Now here's the challenge you're going to have in this one. The challenge is putting all this together without knocking any of this, without knocking this light down the bottom, and ensuring that this turret area is fully pushed in. The pegs are pushed in, so as you can see, that's nice and flat in there. You don't really want to see the base of the turret here, the cradle that it's sitting in. You don't really want to see that at the sides. So that's looking like that. But there you go. I enjoyed doing that one, I have to say. Let me just put this down. I'm conscious of that lamp at the bottom. I don't want to get it knocked or anything like that. I really hope you liked that video today. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.